Hola, buenos noches, and good evening. This is your weekly news report, and I'm your host, Pedro. A record snow drought with unprecedented heat is hitting most of the American West, depleting future water supplies, making it more vulnerable to wildfires and hurting winter tourism and recreation. Scientists say snow cover and snow depth are both at the lowest levels they've seen in decades, while at least 67 Western weather stations have measured their warmest December through early February on record. Normal snow cover this time of year should be about 460,000 square miles, about the size of California, Utah, Idaho, and Montana. But this year it's only California-sized, about 155,000 square miles. The snowpack, measured by how much water is trapped inside in Oregon, is not only record low, but 30% lower than the previous record. Ski resorts had already been struggling through a difficult season, but the lack of snow has been persistent enough that concerns are growing about wider effects. Oregon, Colorado, and Utah have reported their lowest statewide snowpack since the early 1980s, as far back as records go. The meager snow in Colorado and Utah has put the upper Colorado River Basin at the heart of the snow drought. Meteorologists expect wetter, cooler weather across the West this week with some snow, so this may be the peak of the snow drought. But it'll still be warmer than usual in many areas, and scientists aren't optimistic the snow will be enough. Now here's Rafa with our next top story.
Support for President Donald Trump's immigration agenda is in free fall in early 2026 after federal immigration agents shot and killed 2 Americans last month. The administration's aggressive tactics and deportation goals have dragged down Americans' views of Trump on the very issue that helped sweep him into office, the survey shows. Immigration and border security had long stood out as a strength for Trump in polls, both as he ran for a second term in 2024 and in the first year of his new administration. Now, Trump's ratings on the issue have sunk to the same level as his overall job approval rating. In a double-digit shift, 49% of adults strongly disapprove of how Trump has handled border security and immigration, up from 38% strong disapproval last summer and 34% in April. It has all put Trump in a perilous spot politically as midterm elections approach during his second year in office. Trump's overall job approval slid to the lowest mark during his second term. Approval of ICE is even lower, at 34%. Meanwhile, 65% said the country is on the wrong track. Meanwhile, Trump's overall approval rating declined slightly to 39%, about even with his rating on immigration and border security. Now we send it back to Pedro for our next top story.
Investigators continue to search for Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, whose disappearance has transfixed the nation. Guthrie was reported missing February 1st from her home near Tucson, Arizona. She was last seen the previous night around 9:45 p.m., according to Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos. Authorities have described the case as a possible kidnapping or abduction, but clues have been scarce. Investigators got a major break in the case this week after the FBI recovered chilling doorbell camera images of an armed and masked man outside Guthrie's home on the morning of her disappearance. The FBI has since described that man as a suspect. Guthrie is believed to have been taken, possibly in the middle of the night, Nanos has said. The investigation into Guthrie's disappearance, which involves local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, has so far not identified a motive. Blood found on the porch outside her home tested positive for her DNA, Nanos said. His office has not commented on whether there were signs of forced entry at the property. The FBI on February 12th provided new identifying details about the man, identifying him as a suspect. The Bureau described him as a man of average build, between 5'9" and 5'10", wearing a black 25-liter Ozark Trail hiker pack backpack. Now,
the U.S. added 130,000 jobs in January, according to federal data released this week. But a closer look shows that the lion's share of this growth came from one specific task, caring for older Americans. Grouped under the formal categories of social assistance and health care, at-home care services, hospitals, and long-term care facilities added 124,000 positions. The trend underscores a broader shift underway in the American labor market. While recent headlines suggest that employment in the U.S. is resilient, much of today's job growth is not in the corporate offices or on the factory floors that have traditionally powered economic expansion. It is concentrated instead in labor-intensive care and service-based roles. As the country ages, demand for long-term care is projected to keep rising. At the same time, immigration restrictions, falling birth rates, and sweeping Medicaid funding cuts are narrowing the pipeline of workers willing or able to fill these roles. The strain on this workforce is building at the very moment the country needs it most. It's a strain that's already building, and one that will not fade quickly. It's going to impact us for the next 30 years. Now here's Ariana with a look at this week's forecast.
Hello, everyone. I'm your chief meteorologist, Ariana, with a look at your weather forecast for the week ahead. An upper-level ridge is building in from the southern plains to the Midwest going into Tuesday, with widespread above normal temperatures and breezy conditions accompanying it. This ridge will reach the East Coast by midweek with a return to warmer temperatures after a long period of frigid cold weather. A surface low in front will move across the upper Midwest and Great Lakes region. But the low will weaken by Thursday as the next surface low begins to take shape over the Central Plains. Out west, a pattern change will be taking place with a larger upper trough moving in with embedded shortwave energy building into the region. This will bring some badly needed moisture after the recent dry spell with moderate to heavy rainfall for the California coast. This also means heavy snow is expected from the Sierra Nevada to the central and northern Rockies. A shortwave trough will move inland and make its way across the southwestern deserts region and is expected to bring moderate to locally heavy rainfall for lower elevations. Snowfall is expected for those higher elevations with snowfall totals between 1 to 2 feet. It's probably for the higher ranges of the Intermountain West. Now, here's a look at your 7-day forecast for the Phoenix, Arizona area. We'll see daytime temperatures drop 20 to 25 degrees from where we were at 2 weeks ago. Temperatures will be in the low to mid-60s with cloudy conditions to start the week. And rain will move in by Wednesday, followed by sunny skies to end the week. Now we send it back to Pedro.
That will do it for this week's Weekly News Report. As always, thank you for watching and have a great week. Como siempre, gracias por ver el video y que tengáis una buena semana.